Thank you for joining us this evening for our City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Here.
Lurick.
Here.
Mangum.
Here.
Mansfield.
Here.
Marchand.
Here.
Nichols.
Here.
Vlad.
Here. If you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which, if you'd remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Pastor Brian Griffin, representing Pocatello Baptist Church. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we come before you, Lord, and I want to thank you and praise you for these men and women, Lord, who give their life of service to our community to help make wise decisions and lead us into the future. I pray you would watch over them, give them wisdom and discernment, Lord Father, as they make decisions, Lord, to impact not only our community, Lord Father, but the communities that surround us. And we just pray a special blessing upon this tonight's meeting, that everything will be handled in accordance to a calmness, fairness, and a unity, Lord. We pray these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We'll move to the agenda item number 3 is a consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings. Work session of July 13 and August 10, 2023. Clarification and regular council meetings of November 2nd and November 16, 2023. And special city council goal setting meeting of November 17, 2023. B, material claims. Council may wish to approve the material claims for the period of November 16 through 30, 2023. C, treasurer's report. Council may wish to approve the treasurer's report for October 2023, showing cash and investments as of October 31, 2023. D, Child Care Advisory Committee appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Leslie Thomas to serve as a member of the Child Care Advisory Committee, replacing Anita Willie, whose term expired. Leslie's term will begin December 17, 2023, and will expire December 17, 2027. E, council decision setback exception for the townhomes at City View. Council may wish to adopt its decision approving an exception to Pocatello Municipal Code 17.03.600, which requires a 7-foot setback for side yards for 1.83 acre parcel located at the end of Ammon Drive.
Mr. Mayor.
Council President Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, I would move approval of the consent agenda items A through E as outlined in agenda item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second, I'm going to give it to Lurick, by Lurick. Connie, can you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Mangum.
Yes.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Marchand.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you, and I apologize, I failed to mention, if you are here for agenda item number 8 on the agenda, that has been pulled from the agenda, and it will be put back on the next council meeting's agenda. We'll move to agenda item number 4 is a proclamation. The proclamation will be read by Council Member Lurick, and it is on to says no to violence against Women's Day.
Whereas the Zonta Club of Pocatello, having been in continuous existence since 1981, is a member of Zonta International District 8, recognizes the crime of violence against women and girls, continues to be the most pervasive human rights violation and a global epidemic, and is due to systemic use of physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, and does not know any national or cultural barriers affecting millions of women and girls of all races and socioeconomic backgrounds in peacetime and conflict, and violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity, and results in serious short-term and long-term physical, sexual, reproductive, and mental health problems. And whereas the World Health Organization estimates 1 in 3, or 30%, of all women worldwide have experienced physical and/or sexual violence. And whereas, according to UNICEF, nearly 120 million girls under the age of 20 worldwide, about 1 in 10, have experienced forced intercourse or other forced sexual acts. And whereas more than 650 million women alive today were married as children, and 12 million girls are married before the age of 18 each year. And whereas, according to the Global Report on Trafficking in Persons from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, quote, the most common form of human trafficking, 79%, is sexual exploitation. And whereas Zonta International is a leading global organization of professionals with more than 26,000 members in 62 countries working together to make gender equality a worldwide reality for women and girls, and has contributed to help achieve a world free of violence against women and girls for more than 100 years. And whereas during the 16 days of activism, November 25th to December 10th, the Zonta Club of Pocatello, along with all Zonta clubs, are encouraged to take part in the Zonta Says No to Violence Against Women campaign and to take local, national, and international actions to influence the making and implementation of laws as well as changing of gender-based attitudes and behaviors to end violence against women and girls. Now therefore, I, Brian C. Bladd, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, do hereby proclaim December 7th, 2023 to be Zonta Says No to Violence Against Women Day in Pocatello, and urge citizens of Pocatello to work together to eliminate domestic violence from our community, to advocate for survivors of gender-based violence, and to act in service on their behalf.
Who's coming to get it?
That was a long one.
I wrote that. I did a good job. I didn't mean for it to be so long-winded for you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have a photo op with all our people?
No, of course you can.
She meant to say is we need a photo op with all our people.
Do, how many are we? Let's come back over here.
That was long.
You can.
But you really don't. You know what that's gonna
We want a
do.
song, Molly.
I know what that means.
We want a song for you.
Jared,
Are you a member, Tina?
I do every time.
photo bomb.
Just everywhere. Can't see city council. Council wants to stand up.
Council, we need you to stand up.
Council stand up. There we go. We got one more back there.
Oh, I'm not council.
Okay.
Is this in the way?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
We're all good.
That was it? Take another one. Let's do one more. We're pointing and talking.
We're gonna get really up close. How's this? But now I gotta get. Okay, we're in as far as we can. Okay.
At least you didn't get on a chair. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
You have perfect
Did
opportunity
you,
for
did
the
you want to
bottom
say?
mayor and you passed. I'm disappointed. Disappointed.
I was just going to thank the council and mayor for doing this proclamation. It means a lot to us. I'm going to let Stephanie, though, tell you about our 16 days because we've done so much for this community, and we'll be brief.
Well,
but-
today is lucky number 13, so we appreciate your support today. We have 3 more days in the 16 days. We had 9 deliveries in the community of period products and personal hygiene items where women and girls can gain free access to them. But we've also done a few other things this year, including yard signs and signs in businesses for Zonta Says No to Violence Against Women. And we've had quite a good success this year, changing it up a little bit. So we hope to expand that even more next year.
Super.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
guys.
Thank you. All right, we will move to agenda item 5, calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. Let's just jump into, let's see, December 14th, City Council work session has been canceled. December 18, 1:30 PM, Joint Cities County School District ISU meeting. December 21st, 5:30 PM, clarification meeting, 6 PM regular council meeting. Other events, the Marshall Library has shortened service hours in December. The hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The library will be closed December 24 and 25 for the Christmas holiday. Regular hours will return on January 2nd. I lost my place. There we go. Looking ahead, city offices will be closed December 25th for the Christmas holiday and January 1st for the New Year's holiday. Garbage and recycle pickups will be delayed one day. Community Rec Center will be closed on the following dates for the holidays: December 24th and 25th, and December 31st and 1st. City Creek Recreation Area gates are closed to motorized access until approximately May 15, 2024. We would encourage everybody to go and enjoy the Nordic Center. It is now open last weekend or this weekend or something, but it's open. So go and enjoy that. And as a reminder to please keep your sidewalks clear of snow and ice. When clearing sidewalks and driveways of snow, please do not place that snow in the street. It becomes a driving hazard. And we would also, with heavy heart, like to send our condolences to the Roger Chase family and for the loss that they've had in the within this last week. So we'd just like to mention that as well. So thank you. We will move to agenda item 6. Is a taxi cab driver license renewal denial appeal, Casey Croft. Casey Croft will be present to appeal the denial of her taxi cab license renewal, which was denied by the Pocatello Police Department.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Casey.
My name is Casey Croft. I am here before you today to see about rectifying my taxi license. In front of you, you have a letter from a Miss Eddie Hermiston, which is just a letter of, what do I want to say? Of the type of person I am. I feel that I am caught in an isolated incident of domestic violence. Yes, I'm in the wrong. Yes, I feel I paid my dues. Should I have my license back? I don't want to lose it because that's my source of income. So I'm asking your panel today to please let me have my license. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Casey, do we have any questions for Casey while she's here? Council member.
Casey, I appreciate wearing your heart on your sleeve and expressing yourself in this manner. I'd like to ask just questions on what led to this issue, to this violent issue.
My girlfriend and I got in a dispute. She kicked my knee out. I tried to exit the situation by going to my personal space, in which she came in and threatened to break everything, and I grabbed her and put her up against a wall. And like I said, I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. But I feel I've already done my dues. I did my probation in less time than what was expected. I paid all my fines, yada, yada, yada. I mean, that's all I can really say. I feel like I was doing self-defense because she did enter my personal space, which was a whole nother room of the house. So.
Okay, Brent?
No, I think Corey asked my question.
Oh, Corey asked your question. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Don't go far. We may have some others after. Oh, Linda has one.
I was just thinking, and I think you said something about this being an isolated incident. So you feel that this really is not indicative of a bigger problem or your behavior in general, that this was a one-time?
It was a one-time thing. If you look at my criminal record, you'll see it's only one time in the whole 53 years.
Okay, Brent.
Yeah, you sort of answered my question. So how long have you been driving a taxi?
A year and a half now, I believe.
During that period of time, you ever had any trouble at all with?
I love it. I love what I do. I've had a couple people pass out in my cab, but you have to do what you can do to get them awake and into their house.
Right.
So-
Is this the only episode of violence that you've had in your past?
Yes, sir.
This is it, period. Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Corey, did you have?
I did. Before driving taxi, what was your employment before?
What did I do before? I was home health. I did home health care for a little lady that had spinal bifida.
How long did you do that?
3 years.
Okay. What ended that employment?
The fact that I accidentally dropped my patient, my legs gave out on me, and I have type 2 diabetes. So I have neuropathy in my legs, and they went down, and luckily she landed on her bed. So it wasn't very far, but still the matter existed.
So did you injure that employment because you felt you were unable to continue, or was it?
Yeah, I felt like I was a liability.
Okay.
Those patients that we take care of can't take care of themselves. Well, if I can't take care of them through me, I don't feel it's right to continue employment. It's robbing the patient.
So I have another question. This is kind of a personal question, but it stands to the merit of this discovery we have in front of us. Are you still in communication or contact with this former
Yes.
partner? So what does that look like?
It's actually pretty good. We were both living at my aunt's house when the problem happened. And after my probation, I moved back up to my aunt's house because I was part of the caregiver. And when I felt that it was starting to go upside down, I moved because I didn't want to be in that predicament again.
So you say there's still a relationship or communication there, correct?
There is, because of my aunt.
Okay, so it's not as if you're still, is this currently your partner?
No,
Okay,
No.
that's really what I'm trying to get at.
okay, no.
Because I'd hate to see it as a cycle. Let's say hypothetically that we approve you having a license, and then there's this cycle of, she instigates, you defend, she instigates, you defend, and let's say you're having a bad night, some drunk person gets into your vehicle, this person reminds you of said partner, they're pushing your buttons, and now you see what I'm saying? I don't like the idea of that cycle.
I used to be one of them drunks, so dealing with them makes it quite easy. I just have to put myself back in that situation where I was one of them, and that's something that I have to deal with. But I've been clean and sober for 16 years. This incident that happened wasn't because of drugs and alcohol. It was strictly because I felt she had pushed enough buttons, more or less. And this thing went on for 6 hours before anything else happened. And the only reason something happened was because I told on myself. That's the only reason it happened. She wasn't going to file charges, but I told on myself when I went to the hospital to have my knee checked out.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to clarify. You were the one that originally went to the hospital because you had your knee kicked out.
Yes, sir.
In the course of that interaction at the Portland Medical Center, you made them aware that this was sort of a two-party deal here,
Yes,
and
sir.
that you had put your hands around her neck.
Yes,
Is that,
sir.
and then you were subsequently then charged as a result of your admission?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other questions? Scott?
The other person involved, were they charged?
No,
Okay, you realize basically why they denied your license, correct?
yes,
So it's in the ordinance that if you're charged with a felony, right, or a crime of
Misdemeanor.
violence, that it makes it a little bit tough,
yeah,
right? So that's why it was denied, was
I
because of it.
understand that.
So sometimes unfortunately, we make mistakes that hurt us later on in life.
Yes, sir.
Okay, as long as you understand that.
I do understand that.
Okay, other questions? Okay, Casey, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Black.
Absolutely. Mallory?
Good evening, Mayor Blad, council members. Mallory Bascom, Pocatello Police Licensing. I denied Casey Croft's application to renew her taxi license based on language under Pocatello Municipal Code 5.56.050, which reads that applicants must have a criminal record free from conviction for any crimes involving violence for a charge she received in August of 2022. In reviewing her background information, I found that her license had mistakenly been renewed in November of 2022, though it should have been revoked at that time as the result of her conviction. In reviewing Casey's background, which went back to the early 90s, I did not find any other convictions for violent or similar crimes. In fact, the only other charges I found were infractions for things such as seatbelt tickets. I spoke with Casey's employer, Scott Kimball, who's the owner of Rides R Us taxi service, regarding her employment, and he stated that Casey is a great employee and indicated that it would be tough to lose her as such. I also think that it's important to note that Casey disclosed the charge on her renewal paperwork in both 2022 when she was approved and this year when I denied her renewal. And she made no attempt to hide it during the renewal process either year. That's all the information that I have, but I'm open to questions if you have any.
Questions, council? Councilmember Mangum?
In your opinion, is Casey a threat?
If I look at the whole of her background, I have not seen any other similar charges. Like I said, it goes clear back to the early 90s. So based on what I saw, I would say no.
Brent?
Could you read that code language again, please?
Applicants must have a criminal record free from conviction for any crimes involving violence.
Okay.
Can I add to that, Mayor? Sure. There is a provision, I think it's important for council to be aware, and I'm not disagreeing with Mallory in any way, but there is some discretion in this one, as there often is in some of these codes. When Mallory looked at this, I think it was her and I that had a conversation about this one, and we felt for consistency's sake a denial was appropriate, but there is discretionary language that says the police chief, or in this case his designee, may deny the license for those things. So it's not one of those absolutes, but it is a very, very specific guiding ordinance for her decision-making.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions?
I do.
Yes.
So what does it say again?
Well, it says a lot, but.
Well, but at the end, what did you just?
The relevant language to tonight is under 5.56.050. It says the chief of police may deny a license to any person who fails to meet the following requirements. And there are several requirements, A through H, but the one that's relevant to this is E, and it says criminal record free from conviction of any felony, or free from conviction for any felony or for any crimes involving moral turpitude or violence or possession or sale of a controlled substance. And of course, we're here specifically on the violence
Right,
portion of
so with the way that's written, and maybe I missed it, did you say may? So he doesn't have to deny it?
That's correct.
So she didn't have to deny it, is that correct?
She had some discretion, yes. And that's always tricky in the code, in which I'm sure we'll look at. But that discretion, then you have a very specific list. That's what we talked about.
And
when she made the decision.
that becomes the issue with the ordinances. I
Right.
mean, we have to fix the ordinances. They have to, the language has to be fixed. We go on and on and on, so.
Well, often, as you know, often ordinances have discretion built into
Right,
them.
yes.
And I've always been an advocate of officer discretion when you're out on the
Right.
field making those decisions. But again, I'm wholeheartedly behind Mallory's decision in this case, but also it's up for you with that discretion as well.
Okay, Corey?
The essence of this law, or from what it sounds like, the spirit of it is more someone who has been caught in a violent situation or a violent offender versus someone who's disclosed a situation of violence in this magnitude. But there again, it's still a criminal case and criminal record. So is that making sense from what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what the question
I'll say it, no.
Thank you. Okay.
I think it's a matter of degrees. I mean, even if somebody admits the violence, if the violence
Still
is severe
happen.
enough, it wouldn't matter if they admitted it or we discovered it through an investigation. So that's kind of what you have to weigh.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to weigh in my head. Thanks.
There you go. I know that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
The law is pretty specific. I mean, when it comes to strangulation or domestic violence, there's not a lot of leeway for the officers in those cases.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mallory. Come back.
If she has anything else.
Casey, do you have anything else to add? Would you like to?
I just,
To do so, I need you to come up here.
I just want to say that taxi driving has been my life. It's about the only thing I can do. I took a fall at a previous job and broke my neck and my back. So this is what I do for a living. And I'm hoping you guys can oversee what I've done. Because I was wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes. Councilmember Mansfield.
There was some discussion in the clarification meeting about the agenda and in this meeting as well. And when I speculate about why taxis are used in Pocatello, I can think of one of two reasons. Number one is it's someone who, and as is mentioned in the letter supporting Casey, people who are intoxicated and who choose to use a taxi service rather than driving, for which I can't offer nothing but the greatest praise, and please continue to do so. The second reason, though, is someone who's from out of town. In Pocatello, we do have public transit, but most citizens, a lot of citizens have cars and have their own personal vehicles. And so the other reason I can see being used regularly would be people who come out of town. I don't think there are people in Pocatello who use taxis for regular everyday commuting like you would see in large cities. In other words, people who take taxis are vulnerable people. And I think given that that's the case, whether they're being out of town or intoxicated, I appreciate the language in the ordinance that requires us to take a harder look at histories of violence. But in this specific situation, I see somebody who has taken accountability for their actions at every opportunity of an isolated event, and somebody who I believe is an important asset for our community in the service that is rendered. And so I would move that we approve the appeal for the taxi cab license of Casey Croft.
Second.
So I've got a motion by Mansfield and a second by Mangum. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Mansfield,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Can I just add one comment to Josh's statement? One other important group that I know uses taxis in this community are elderly citizens or people
Great
with
point.
health issues that can't drive. And so, again, another vulnerable group. But I just want to make sure that it's not only out-of-town people or intoxicated people. There are a lot of people that's their only way to get around the community, so.
Great addition.
Thank you. Casey, thank you very much for being here. Mallory will work with you to move forward. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 7 is acceptance canvass votes for 2023 general election. Council may wish to accept the canvass election results for the City of Pocatello general election held November 7, 2023.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Councilmember Mangum.
I would move that we approve the canvass votes for 2023 general election as specified in Agenda Item 7.
Second,
We have a motion by Mangum and a second by Mansfield.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
before voting, this, in years past and this year again, feels like routine business, but in very recent years, it has not been. When people have disagreed with the results of the election, there are accusations of the lack of integrity around the system. And I think this year, like in previous years and in my entire time in Bannock County, I think Bannock County rises to the highest standards of transparency and accuracy, ethics, and thoroughness in terms of election standards and integrity. And I think that given the controversy in recent years, it's important that this isn't something that just stays, it becomes routine again.
Thank you. So we have a motion by Mangum and a second by Mansfield. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Mangum,
Yes.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. As a reminder, Agenda Item 8 was pulled from the agenda. We'll move to Agenda Item 9, Center Street Railroad Bridge Underpass Match Increase Authorization. Council may wish to authorize a payment of $150,995 to the Idaho Transportation Department for the Center Street Railroad Bridge Underpass project. Council previously authorized payment of 7.34% match in the amount of $387,692 on September 7, 2023, based on the project cost estimate of $5,700,000. The updated total project cost is $7,757,136. The additional amount will cover the remaining 7.34% match amount for the project subject to legal department review. Funding has been allocated in Fund 70 for the project.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of the Center Street Railroad Bridge Underpass Match Increase Authorization of $150,995 to the Idaho Transportation Department as authorized in Agenda Item Number 9.
Second.
Finally.
Finally, is right. We have a motion by Council President Cheatham and a second by Councilmember Lurick.
Merrill.
As well as that, can we do item number 2
Who are you?
too? Oh, sorry, Merrill Coyle, Public Works
Thank
Engineer
you.
for the City of Pocatello. Could we also authorize change orders up to 10% of the match in that?
That in
as
the
recommended?
original.
That was in the original.
That will, if that was in the original, that will carry over with the original authorization.
Okay,
This is just increasing the known authorized
Right.
match amount.
right.
I think that
Okay,
was
I
done
just
in
wanted
the
to make sure
original
that we
amount,
were still
or
covered.
the original.
If it was, otherwise we'll have to come back for approval because that's not on this agenda.
Okay,
But if it was in the original, then we should be fine within that 10% buffer
we
as
didn't have it
well.
on the card. I had it in the report, so, okay.
Oh, it's in the executive summary.
Yeah, as recommended.
For tonight's meeting.
Yeah.
And we can add it to the motion.
Then we can add it if the motion maker is okay with adding that.
Can we take a minute and let me look at that again? Go at ease for just a second.
Okay, we will,
It's bottom of the second page,
we
right,
will do
Merrill?
that. Bottom of the
I
second.
remember
page.
seeing
Number
it,
2
I think.
recommendation.
Yeah.
It's also in Matt Curbs's from council, talks about that also in his, in page 1.
Matt Curbs.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add to the original motion the authorization of the approval of change orders up to 10% of the project match, or a total of $38,769.
So
That was on the September 7th.
it was on the
original
September 7th original one, so.
authorization.
So that will carry over.
Okay.
Anyway, if you want to add it, you can add it.
Let's put her in there.
Okay, what's in there? The second okay with it? Okay, so we will add it to this motion. The motion was by Council President Cheatham, and the second was by Councilmember Lurick. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Mansfield,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, piggyback bid acceptance, Sourcewell contract for valve truck purchase, Water Department. Council may wish to consider piggybacking Sourcewell contract number 060920-NVS via Rush Truck Center for the purchase of one 2024 CV 515 International chassis with, is it Knapheide service body in the amount of $288,451.88 and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve Agenda Item 10, authorizing your signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
We have a motion by Mangum and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Mangum.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Marchand.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, 2024 Water Department materials bid. Council may wish to consider bids received on November 16, 2023 for materials used by the Water Department for capital improvement projects, maintenance and replenishing materials inventory. The bid was separated into 12 separate lots in an effort to guarantee the lowest price for the city. Staff requests the council award each lot to the lowest responsive bidder as follows. A, Silver Creek Supply, lots 3, 4, and 8 at $150,798.46. B, Ferguson Waterworks, Lot 10, $65,964. C, Mountain Land Supply with 12 at $91,810. D, HD Flower, Lot 6, $7,285.75. And E, Core and Main LP, Lots 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, and 11, $338,465.02. The total cost for the material bids is $654,323.23. Funds are available in the Water Department's fiscal year 2024 budget.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move for approval of agenda item number 11, the Water Department materials bid, awarding each lot to the lowest responsive bidder as outlined in items A through E.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mansfield and a second by Marchand. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Mansfield.
Yes.
Marchand.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Mangum.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, welcome resolution revision. Council may wish to adopt a resolution accepting proposed changes to the city's existing welcome resolution to include verbiage that corrects identified gaps in the current version of the resolution. The proposed changes were presented to council at the August 10, 2023 work session.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Please.
I move that we approve the revisions to the the revised welcome resolution in item number 12. And that's all.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Lyric and a second by Mansfield, right? Mansfield. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick.
Yes.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Mangum.
Yes.
Marchand.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. And what did we say?
It was just.
We don't have.
We don't have
Yeah, we
one.
don't have one. Thank you very much. Agenda item 13, items from the audience. We do not have anybody from the audience, and so we'll move to agenda item 14. Thank you very much for attending tonight. With that, we are adjourned.